Aptus FaSilitor is an incredibly important aspect to any successful nutrient regimen. It is the flagship product of the Aptus Plant Tech Premium Collection, and it functions as a nutrition manager. It does a lot of very interesting things within your plant. Some of the benefits include increased strength of cell walls by depositing a special form of silicon into every cell within your plant. Secondly, it helps resistance against any kind of stress, whether it be biotic, meaning plant generated, or some sort of pathogen or bug or pest or disease, or abiotic, meaning drought, heat, or other environmental factors. FaSilitor also helps to improve the uptake, absorption, and utilization of nutrients in both your feed water and your growing medium. FaSilitor is going to reduce and control the space between the internodes, and typically growers see an enhanced bushing effect versus extremely out of control vertical growth. There's also a great benefit of reducing the salinity and also increasing a plant's resistance against extremely saline soil. So when there's salt buildup from using mineral-based fertilizers, FaSilitor is excellent at helping to moderate that and allow your plant to grow successfully even in that environment. A test that was done using electronic microsensor which detects the actual silicon levels within a cell wall shows very obviously how silicic acid, which is the special compound of silicon in FaSilitor, what the effect is on the individual cell walls. So here we have on the left hand side an untreated control. You see the cell walls are those faint white lines surrounding each cell. When we treated the same plant tissue with silicic acid from FaSilitor, you can see that by the bright white and very strong outlines of each of these cells, which is representing the silicon, there's incredibly enhanced uptake and absorption and utilization of that silicon. You hear a lot about the benefits of silicon, but unless it's a bioavailable form, this effect that you're seeing right here does not take place. FaSilitor contains some very key ingredients that are essential to your nutrient regimen. The primary component of FaSilitor is a unique compound called silicic acid. Now, this is not something that Aptus invented or created. All we did was discover it. Over a decade ago, silicic acid was discovered to be a part of every growing medium around the world, and it's the only bioavailable form of silicon. So when you see potassium silicate and calcium silicate, and these are amendments for soil, these forms of silicon can't be used by any sort of plant. They actually first has to be converted by the microbes in the soil into silicic acid before the plant can use it. So it's very important that FaSilitor has this pure form of silicic acid ready and available for a plant to utilize immediately. There's three things that silicon does when it's in the form of silicic acid. Number one is it creates a mechanical barrier in each cell wall within the plant. Think of it like a balloon. When a balloon is fully inflated, it has a very rigid outer shell, and you can press and squeeze, but it doesn't change shape very much. And that is like a cell wall that's enhanced with silicon. It allows that cell to be strong and firm, which helps the plant stay upright, resist the biting and sucking insects, the heat, the drought, all the different stresses that can happen to a plant. This mechanical barrier is very beneficial for that. The second thing that silicic acid does is provides increased mineral transport, and that's because FaSilitor, or silicic acid, has a very unique property as a molecule that it can actually grab on to other minerals that exist in the growing media and transport it into the roots and move it throughout the tissue of the plant. And finally, when silicic acid is present in the plant, it triggers the immune system response of the plant and keeps it active. So the plant is by nature more likely to resist any kind of disease or attack, whether it be from a pest or a fungus or any pathogen of that sort. Boron is also a very important microelement that's in FaSilitor. The primary thing that boron does is stimulate cell division and also helps with plant fiber development. So you're going to see an increase in dry weight as well as strength, overall strength of the plant, particularly in the stems and the shoots. Also, Boron's very important for sugar transportation, to help those carbohydrates generated during photosynthesis to move throughout the plant, as well as being excreted through the root tissue to feed the microlife down in the growing medium. Boron is also excellent at unlocking and moving the very immobile element calcium. Calcium doesn't move very well through a plant, and boron is particularly good in conjunction with silicic acid at getting that calcium to be unlocked in the growing medium and move throughout the plant to provide that where the plant needs it. And finally, FaSilitor has a very important microelement called molybdenum. Now, this is not needed in very high amounts, but it is extremely important, functioning as a catalyst. It enhances nitrogen movement from the lower to the upper leaves. So when a plant is trying to grow and it's putting that new growth out the top of the plant and it needs more nitrogen, the plant looks to molybdenum to stimulate the enzyme called nitrogenase, which is very important and crucial to move that nitrogen from the lower leaves to the upper leaves to make sure that new growth is healthy, lush, green, and strong. So FaSilitor is a very unique product, and thus it requires some unique tips on how to use it to make sure that you get the benefits that it can offer you if it's used correctly. The first thing, and absolutely most important, is FaSilitor must always be mixed into clean, fresh water, and it must be mixed well. We recommend mixing it in the water and letting it sit and aerate for about 5 to 10 minutes to make sure it's evenly distributed. And the reason why is the water actually activates FaSilitor to make it do its thing and be effective. So you want to make sure it goes in the water, whether it's reverse osmosis or dechlorinated water, before you add any other nutrients, additives, boosters, or anything at all. You're going to use about 3 milliliters per 5 gallons of water in every drop of water throughout growth and bloom. Very important. Don't allow anything, even water, and really especially water, to contaminate the FaSilitor bottle. When water hits FaSilitor, it starts to unpack and activate the compound and the multi-molecule of silicic acid. So you want to make sure that stays clean. Always use clean instruments for measuring as well as dosing. A couple tricks you can use FaSilitor for in a natural way without any use of plant growth regulators or any kind of hormones. FaSilitor actually will help slow the vertical growth of the plant and encourage branching and tighter internodes. So if you double the dose in week 1 or 2 of flower, this can help if you've got a plant strain that's growing too fast vertically and you'd like to suppress that growth. And finally, FaSilitor is excellent at unlocking and correcting mineral deficiencies and imbalance that may exist in your growing medium. Again, because FaSilitor helps to regulate the balance of nutrition and how the plant uptakes it. If you've got deficiencies, start using FaSilitor and you'll start to see those deficiencies fade, because usually the issue is not lack of the right minerals. It's typically an imbalance and antagonistic action between different minerals, and FaSilitor helps to moderate that antagonistic action. As always with Aptus and with anything, education is power. It's very important to understand that education is the cornerstone to being a successful grower. So Aptus educators are always eager to help, eager to make sure that you succeed and that you understand what these products and what the science behind these products is all about. So I encourage you, go to aptus-usa.com/education to read more about how FaSilitor works, how it can benefit your growing operation, as well as all the other premium collection and products that Aptus offers.